Did you know that in less than 7 seconds, your brain has already made a judgment about someone? Before you even hear them speak, before you know their story, your mind has already decided. Trustworthy, competent, likable, or the opposite. But why do we judge so fast? And what hidden forces guide our snap decisions? Today, we'll uncover the psychology behind first impressions and why these fleeting moments shape relationships, careers, and even life-changing decisions. Picture this: you walk into a room full of strangers. One person smiles warmly, another glances down, avoiding eye contact. Instantly, your brain is processing countless cues: facial expressions, posture, clothing, tone of voice, and forming a judgment. These judgments feel automatic, like they come from intuition. But psychologists call them cognitive shortcuts. Your mind is wired to assess people quickly to save energy, but these shortcuts are far from perfect. In today's video, we'll explore the fascinating science of first impressions. You'll learn why we judge in seconds, how these judgments influence every part of our lives, and what you can do to see past your own snap judgments. Think about the last time you met someone new. Perhaps a date, a job interview, or even a neighbor. That tiny first encounter, just a handshake, a smile, or a fleeting glance, often determines whether you trust them or keep your guard up. For example, imagine meeting two candidates for a job. One walks in confidently, making eye contact and offering a firm handshake. The other fumbles, avoids eye contact, and hesitates. Even before hearing a word, most people already perceive the first candidate as more competent. That's your brain working in split seconds, relying on visual and behavioral cues. Studies show that people form first impressions in just a few seconds, and these impressions are highly resistant to change. This means the decisions we make based on these moments can affect friendships, careers, and even romantic relationships. But here's the catch: first impressions are not always accurate. They are often influenced by biases, stereotypes, and past experiences, rather than the true character of a person. Consider two common biases. The halo effect. When someone exhibits one positive trait, like confidence or a smile, your brain automatically assumes they have other positive traits. For example, she is confident, so she must also be smart, kind, and trustworthy. The horn effect. The opposite. A negative trait, like poor posture or a frown, makes you assume the person has other negative traits, even if that's not true. These biases affect every area of life: hiring decisions, dating, social acceptance, and even judicial judgments. Snap judgments feel effortless, but they can lead to missed opportunities, misunderstandings, and unfair treatment. Let's take a deeper example. A stick-figure character walks into a job interview. One tiny frown from the interviewer leads to the unconscious label, unprepared. The candidate might be excellent, but that first impression colors every interaction. Every question answered, every gesture made, is filtered through that initial bias. This is why first impressions are both powerful and dangerous. So why does this happen? The answer lies in our evolution. Humans are wired to assess friend from foe in moments of danger. Our ancestors needed to quickly identify threats to survive. Those who hesitated or misjudged often didn't make it. Fast judgments became survival instincts. In modern life, the stakes are less about survival, but the mechanisms remain. Your brain still prioritizes speed over accuracy. First impressions are influenced by appearance. Facial expressions, posture, grooming, and clothing all signal confidence, warmth, or threat. Tone of voice. Pitch, pace, and volume convey competence or nervousness. Microexpressions. Tiny facial movements, often lasting milliseconds, can reveal true emotions. Body language. Open gestures signal friendliness. Crossed arms can indicate defensiveness. Even tiny differences, a slightly crooked smile or a nervous gesture, can dramatically affect how someone is perceived. And once that impression is formed, your brain tends to stick to it. Psychologists call this the confirmation bias. We notice behaviors that confirm our first judgment and ignore those that contradict it. Here's a real-life scenario. Imagine two stick-figure characters meeting at a cafe. One smiles nervously, the other frowns. Even if the first person is nervous because of a rough day and the second is just naturally serious, your mind interprets these signals as indicators of character. And this happens in seconds. Now that we understand the mechanics of first impressions, how can we use this knowledge wisely? Here are actionable tips. Awareness is key. Knowing that first impressions are cognitive shortcuts helps you pause and reassess people objectively. Don't let your brain's first judgment be the final word. Control your own cues. Smile genuinely, maintain open posture, and speak clearly. Your body language can influence how others perceive you in those critical first seconds. Give second chances. Recognize that everyone has off days. People are complex, and first impressions don't tell the whole story. Observe beyond appearances. Pay attention to actions, consistency, and context. The more information you gather, the more accurate your assessment. By practicing these steps, you can reduce bias, improve social interactions, and build stronger, more authentic connections. Remember, first impressions are powerful, but they don't have to control your entire perception of someone. First impressions happen in seconds, but understanding the psychology behind them gives you the power to navigate relationships more wisely. Your brain may judge fast, but your awareness and choices can rewrite the story. In our next video, we'll explore why some people are instantly likable, while others struggle to make connections, even if they're talented and kind. The science behind these invisible traits might surprise you. Stay tuned.